All right. Mic check 1, 2. I think we're good. All right. Let's get this started. Yo, guys, what's going on? Good afternoon. Welcome to hashtag TNT JoeFi, tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. What's going on, guys? Good afternoon to people on the Midwest and on the East Coast. Good morning to people on the West Coast, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone else around the world. How's it going, guys? TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. This is episode number something because I lost count. This is also day number something in quarantine because I lost count. God, it's been a long time in quarantine, hasn't it? It's kind of weird to see outdoor eating or outdoor dining get opened, to actually see people out and about, kinda. But it's nice to see at least some kind of progress there. So anyway, we got, I don't know, it's kind of a slower news day today. There isn't a ton of stuff, but I have a couple stories, and then whatever happens in chat, we can talk about as well. Selwonk is early today, and he looks like he's the only one in stream right now. So Selwonk, well, there are other people in here. Maybe they're just quiet about it, or at least in chat. Selwonk, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Nice to have you in here. Grant is here. Hey, Jerome. Hey, Grant. How's it going, man? Happy Friday. How's it going? Hope everything's doing well. Yeah, Selwonk says, I think I'm the only one here right now. Well, I'm here. We can chat. We can spend an hour and chat. I told myself that even if I was the only person in here, I would still spend an hour and talk and discuss and have something to talk about. So we can do that. Okay, let's get started. Let's actually, you know what? Grant, can you do me a favor, Grant, real quick? I don't know if you are on your phone or your desktop or whatever, but I added a new emoji because I ended up getting a new member, a new YouTube member yesterday, and it's actually an animated GIF. Can you see if it works? Because I haven't tested it out. It should be like the excuse me GIF where the guy kind of like, I'm trying to bat my eyes. I can't bat my eyes. I can't believe I just tried that. But anyway, if you could try it out and see if it works, I'd appreciate it. Deepak is in here as well. Deepak Murthy. Hello, Jerome. Hello, Deepak. How's it going, man? Happy Friday. Nice to see you. I also see Jivan Amin. What? Are you spamming right now? Or are you talking about me? No, you're talking about me. I thought you were spamming for a second. I'm like, well, maybe you are. I have no idea what you're saying. Watch Yalgar. Pop, 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 pop. Fire emoji. Hit like for our boy. Yeah, maybe you are spamming. Anyway, Jivan, if you're actually in here for tech stuff, that's great. If you're not, then I don't know what to, yeah. Grant, let me know if that's working. I'm just curious if it's working because I can't see it on my end, not with my streaming software. But if the actual emoji is moving, let me know. So, okay, guys, let's get started. Let's talk about a couple things. Actually, you know what? I should share that I have AirPods Pros, right? I have a set of AirPods Pros, and I think 2 days ago the left AirPod Pro started crackling on me. So I have actually never had to return anything or not return or get warranted on Apple before. Have you guys ever had an issue? Is it an easy process with Apple? I'm assuming it is, but yeah, on the left AirPod now, depending on what's playing or whatever, there's a lot of crackling. And actually, I noticed I was on a phone call yesterday and it was pretty bad, to the point where I almost took them off because it was getting pretty annoying. So if anyone has experience on the warranty process on getting these fixed, because I pre-ordered them on day one. And so I'm assuming they're still under warranty. I don't know what the best way to get these replaced, or at least the left one fixed is. If any of you guys know, please share. I would appreciate it. So thank you guys. Grant says, I don't think the GIF is animated. It's a bit small to tell. Damn it. Okay, I'll check later. And Deepak Murthy with the €2 donation. Deepak, thank you so much, man. I will add you onto the June super chat list on the intros and outros. Deepak, thank you so much. Thank you for the added support. The extra support means a lot to me, man. Thank you. Thank you for also just joining the stream and being in here pretty regularly. Always nice to have a community and talk and have that kind of stuff. So thank you so much, Deepak. Appreciate it, man. Okay, guys, let's get started. I see. Sorry, I'm seeing Max. I see you in here too, but let me see what Grant has to say. My original AirPods mic went bad right after the warranty was up. Go figure. That's awful timing. Yeah, I just need to know. So my friend said just call them, but I don't know if it's just better to go through online support to get the left one fixed. And do you think they're just going to give me a whole new set? I don't really care if it's going to suck if they want it back and I have to ship it, but whatever. If I can get it fixed, I'll go get it fixed. Maybe it'll give me time to buy the Pixel Buds, even though I know that I've heard there have been some issues with it, but we'll see. Max Tech Studios. Hi, Jerome. Hi, Max Tech Studios. How's it going, man? Happy Friday. Nice to have you in the stream. Nice to have you engage in chat and say hi. Hope everything's doing well, man. So, okay, guys, let's get started. Let's talk about the Moto E and the Moto G. Actually, that's a good question. Do any of you guys... I know a lot of us in here in chat are more on the tech savvy-ish part, right? So cheaper phones really isn't, I guess, our forte. And not that cheaper phones isn't, but these are what you really call budget phones. These are budget phones. These are phones that you can get for under $200. Do any of you guys own a phone under $200? Or do you even use one? Is there a reason to use one? Yes, obviously there are reason to use one. If you don't have enough money or you're looking for something cheap, then this is what you're going to go with. But I'm just wondering if there's an actual... yes, I know there's a segment who shops for cheaper phones. I'm just wondering if there's anyone in our chat that actually tries these phones out and sees if they're worth it. But we'll go through that. I want to read this article. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. And I think we've known a bit about this, but this article from 9to5 Google says the Moto E and Moto G Fast are sub $200 budget phones from Motorola. Definitely budget. But for under $200, at least looking at these pictures, they don't look bad at all. One has a hole punch, one has what is this, water drop notch on it, but pretty big screens, and it looks like they might have capable cameras. So Motorola has officially announced another set of affordable Android devices in the form of the Moto E and Moto G Fast in North American markets. The duo will both come in at under $200, which puts them slap bang in the budget segment, with the specifications confirming that wholeheartedly. Starting with the Moto G Fast, the 6.4-inch smartphones will come with an HD Plus LCD display, complete with a punch hole notch. As you'd expect, the internals are modest at best, with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 chipset, 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal storage, and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Actually, that makes me think about this. So, a Snapdragon 665, 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal storage, and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. At that price point, yesterday I had an article. Damn, that sale might be done right now, but it was for the LG G7 Fit. And the LG G7 Fit was running a Snapdragon 821. So an 800 series chipset, yes, it's a bit older, but I think it's in terms of what the Snapdragon 765G is going to be. So a faster chipset. I can't remember it also had 32 gigs of storage, and I think it had 4 gigs of RAM or 6 gigs of RAM, and not the biggest battery, I think 3,000 milliamp hours, but it was $150. I don't know if that sale is still available, but I'm wondering if I would rather get that at $150 than this Moto G Fast or this Moto E. Anyway, just something to think about. So at the rear, there is a capacitive fingerprint reader alongside a triple camera setup that consists of a 16 megapixel main sensor, 2 megapixel macro lens, and 8 megapixel ultra wide angle. For those wondering about the selfie camera on the Moto G Fast, it is in the 8 megapixel flavor. As for the Moto E, it'll come with even more modest specifications. So this is the cheaper version, the Moto E. 6.2-inch HD display. They call it a dewdrop notch. God, how many names? There's just so many different terms for it. You'll find Qualcomm 632, 2 gigs of RAM. That is super low specs. 32 gigs internal storage. It also comes with a rear fingerprint reader, dual camera setup that consists of a 13 megapixel primary and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. According to that duo, is a 5 megapixel. Adding to that duo is a 5 megapixel selfie camera. The biggest bonus is they'll ship with Android 10. However, we're not quite sure how the latest operating system will run on such low-end hardware. And that's a really good question, is how well can these phones with their lower spec sheet run on Android 10? Both of the devices are already available for pre-order. With an expected June 12 release. At present, you will only be able to pick up the Moto G Fast and Moto E in unlocked form, which is, I mean, at that price point, just buy it unlocked. As for pricing, the Moto G Fast will set you back $200, while the Moto E will cost just $150. You know what? And so, like, I'm thinking about it, and I'm actually going to Google this again if I can pull up that same article about the LG G7 Fit pricing at $150, because if that's still available, I think I would rather get that, but maybe that was just a special sale. Here's that article. I'm going to share it again with you guys. So this G7 Fit, $150. Oh, it was a one-day deal at B&H. So it's probably, it's still $170 though. It's still not bad at $170. So the LG G7 Fit, what are the details on it now? So it is a Snapdragon 821, 4 gigs of RAM. It has an optional micro SD card for expandable storage, and it comes with 32 gigs of internal storage. I don't know how good the cameras are on this LG G7 Fit. Anyone have an LG G7? Sorry if you guys hear lawnmowers. It's that time of the season. People are out mowing their lawns or doing garden work or whatever. So if you hear it, just pretend it's white noise and it's soothing and it's not annoying in the tiniest bit. But yeah, just something to think about. Okay, let me scroll back up here in chat. Going back up. Grant says sounds like a video idea. Apple support is like, actually that's not a bad idea. When I returned my iPhone SE, that was such an easy process. There wasn't much to it. Super simple. Sean is in here as well. Sean, what up? What up, Sean? What's going on, man? Glad you could make it. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Deepak Murthy says, yeah, I would send them back. They may send you a new one. I mean, I don't have a problem doing that if that's what they'll do. For anyone who's wondering, who's asking what I'm talking about, my AirPods Pro, the left AirPods Pro is starting to crackle. So it's at this point getting to be unusable because it's just very annoying, and I need to figure out how to get that fixed. MaxX Studios says, I'm doing Smartphone Kahoot live tonight at 6:30. Well, there you go. For anybody who's looking for more tech stuff, I'm most interested in cheaper phones. Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in cheaper phones too. I just don't know about something lower than $200. Although I feel like at this point, I would rather get a G7 Fit than a Moto E or a Moto G Fast. Selwonk says, I like how you still talk about budget to mid-range phones. Not everyone can afford the higher end phones. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like I'll talk about $1,000 phones. I'll talk about really expensive phones, but you probably won't see me buying any of them unless it's an iPhone. That's probably the only exception, or a Pixel. Those might be my only two exceptions at this point. I'm pretty sure at this point, unless something like, has some amazing camera that's going to blow everything else out of the water. I mean, exceptions have to be made, but we'll see. Deepak Murthy says, yes, sir. I got a Redmi Note 8, G8 Plus, and a Realme 6. There you go. All grabbed under 200. Well, yeah. So obviously there is a market for it. And I just don't know if this G or Moto G Fast or this Moto E are worth it. At the price points for what they give you, or maybe there are just better deals that can be made. Hopkins, hey Hopkins, welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you. Happy Friday. For me, phones under $200 are too low spec. Xiaomi rules that segment, and they have damn good deals with Redmi. There you go too. There are opportunities, I think, here in the States to get some of those deals. So I just feel like I need to look harder to figure it out. Paul is in here as well. Hey, Paul. Paul Hendricks, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Hey, Jerome, that's early. What's early? It's late, isn't it? Didn't I stream? I stream pretty late. Actually, FYI, guys, on Monday, I'm actually streaming even later. Much later. It might be an evening stream. I have actually a follow-up interview Monday, and it's with like the number 2 in the company and some other director and some marketing person. So fingers crossed. I'm like doing fingers crossed that goes well. If I don't want to get too ahead of myself, I'm not gonna hold my breath. But if that job actually becomes a thing, that'll really help me out. And I will still continue streaming. It just might happen at a different time. But again, I'm speaking too quickly. It is the second interview though, and it looks like it's with people who are much higher up this time. The last time was with the director. This time it's with the director and someone even higher up, the number 2, and another marketing whatever. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. But Monday I am going to be streaming late. Just an FYI, it might be like at 4 p.m. Central. You guys need to figure out what time that is for you guys. But yeah. Anyway, I see Tobez Nwajagu in here as well. What's up, guys? What's up, Tobez? I haven't seen you in a minute. Nice to see you, man. Welcome. Glad you can make the stream. Brian is in here as well. What up, everyone? What up, Brian? What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Deepak Murthy says, although I got an iPhone 11 Pro Max, iPhone 11, and Pixel 4. Oh my God. Why do you have a Pro Max and an iPhone 11 just to have it? I like to test these budget phones. Moto G are really awesome for the price. There you go. I'm still wondering though, why you have an 11 and an 11 Pro Max. Not that I'm not hating. Like, more power to you, man. If that's your thing, that's awesome. But yeah. Max Tech Studio says I might get the Moto E to review on my channel. There you go. Especially for that price point. Why not? Right? Talk about it. See how well it does. See how well it fares under Android 10. So yeah. Maybe it might be a good device. Let me know. So Y 2019, hi Y, how's it going, man? Glad you could make the stream. Nice to see you. Hope your birthday was good. Hope you did something special. So anyway, Glad you could make it to the stream. Andrew KPW just stopping by to say hi to everyone. Hey, Andrew KPW, nice to see you, man. Glad you could make it. I know that, I think you're in the middle of working here and there. So whenever you can stop by, it's always nice to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Max Tech Studio says you can get the Moto E for $22.50 off with this promo code, whatever that is there. So for anyone who needs it, Max Tech Studios, as long as you're not trying to like profit off that, then I'm cool with it. So anyway, guys, for people who need a good deal, there you go. That then at 150 minus 22.50, that's what, $125. So there you go. Y says, Deepak, I definitely believe the G8 Plus is the worst device out of this one. I got an LG G7 Thin Q, very nice device. There you go. I was actually thinking about getting the Thin Q if I could find a good price for it. I was going to get a used one, but I was actually trying to get one for like under $100 shipped to my door. And then I kind of gave that up because I ended up getting the A71, and now I'm looking at the Xiaomi Mi 9T, but I still have camera comparisons to do, and I'm running behind, and I'm just I got a lot going on. Moto phones have a fantastic software. I agree, but battery life and cameras are better on the Realme 6. Xiaomi phones are maybe the best bang for the buck. Thank you for sharing that. Javier Hidalgo. Javier, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you, man. Glad you can make it. Jerome, Redmi Note 9 Pro. Are you telling me that's what I need to do? Is that what I need to buy, the Redmi Note 9 Pro? Or is that an article? No. I have something else I was going to you know how I forget. There are just so many phones out there that I forget. Sweet evening stream. Well, Javier, thank you, man. Thanks for making it. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you engaging in chat. And Dwayne is in here. Dwayne Butler. Dwayne, how's it going, man? Nice to see you. I don't think you've chatted before on the streams, but Dwayne has been a longtime subscriber and like a super high-end supporter. So Dwayne, thank you for making it, man. Good luck on your interviews. Thank you so much. Hopefully it goes well. It is for social media stuff, and it is also for videography and video producing, and it's a whole collaboration of stuff, and hopefully it works well, and hopefully they pay what I'm asking for, but we'll see. Paul says normally you're like 30 minutes later. No, I don't stream this late. I usually stream half an hour earlier. God, remember when I used to stream 2 hours before this? I have to get back on an earlier stream, but I don't know. We'll see. Deepak says, I wish you all the best. Thank you, Deepak. Appreciate it. Javier says, hopefully the interview. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot to me. Hopefully it goes well too. Y says, Jerome, you should quickly check out the Redmi Note 9 and compare it to the G Fast. They cost the same, but the Note 9 is way better. You should compare them. If I had the money, wait, can I buy a Redmi Note 9 Pro or a Redmi Note 9 on Amazon or GearFast or GearBest? I have so much stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys know, I have another YouTube channel, and that takes a lot of my time too. So, and then I have my photography gig, and I also work with my news organization, and it's just, I have a lot going on while I'm also looking for jobs. I think I'm stretching myself too thin at some points. Ellie J, late to the party. Hi, y'all. Hey, Ellie J, nice to see you. Glad you could make it back again. Happy Friday. Let's see here. Deepak says, Jerome, where passion rules, rationality goes downhill. That's a good point, too. Jerome, is a Snapdragon 821 better than a 632? So if I read this correctly, a Snapdragon 821 is on par with the Snapdragon 760. I don't know. Maybe take that back. I think a Snapdragon 821 might be on par with a Snapdragon 765G, which is what the Pixel 5 is going to have. It might be maybe a little less performing than a 765G, but I think they're very comparable, at least from what I read or heard. So if I'm saying this correctly, do not quote me on this, but I believe that an 821 performs better than a 632. I'm pretty sure, I think. Check the phone out. It's a sweet budget phone. I will. I have like this whole list of things I keep meaning to do, and I just I know, Javier. Anyway, I got a midnight green 256 Max, but when I saw a red iPhone 11, I literally fell in love. So I got a 128 product red. Yes, if it was up to me, Deepak, I probably would buy all the product red phones. That's my favorite color for phones lately. I mean, oh, you guys can't see that. Well, now you can see it. My microphone's red. I actually need to get a new microphone. It's kind of being weird on me because I dropped it, but everything costs money and I'm just trying to save where I can. So anyway, where am I at here? I am not going to be able to get through everything. I'm sorry, guys. Grant says, consider the Mi Note 10, Jerome. You guys need to just give me a list. We just need to use Discord for people who are on my Discord to give me the information on what I need. The cameras rival the P30 Pro even in low light. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Snapdragon 730, 6 gigs, 128 gigs for $440. I will consider that. Really? They rival the P30 Pro even in low light? Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Grant. I'll take a look. You guys are giving me so many options here. $275. That's such a cheap price too. Y says you could probably buy it on Amazon. Okay, guys. Yes, I will look at all the phones. I know I need some time to go through it and figure out what I need to buy and what I don't need to buy. But real quick, guys, before I continue, for anyone that's listening, for anyone that's in here, for anyone that's chatting, appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't already, please, if you can, like the stream. Liking the stream helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find me in general, find the stream. Yeah. And if you guys haven't already, feel free to be a subscriber. I do stream Mondays through Fridays. We spend about an hour or a little longer in talking about tech, chatting with everybody in the stream. And if you guys haven't already, if you see people in the stream, in the chat, that they have green in their name, they have a red Chicago star, that is because they are a member of the Phone Jerome family, the Phone Jerome fam. And they get those perks, and they also get to use custom emoji. I actually just added a new emoji on there. It's an animated one, but I don't know if it's working or not. Please feel free to let me know if it is, because I haven't had a chance to test it out. But you can be a member too for as little as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click the join button. And if you cannot find that join button, all you got to do is go to youtube.com /phone Jerome /join. It only costs 99 cents a month. Or if none of that appeals to you, it's just a way to support me. So either way, even if you can't support that way, I appreciate you guys stopping by. It's just, again, I just got to put it out there. So thank you guys so much. So let's move on. Let's talk about okay, so all my stories today are kind of just all over the place because I really didn't have time to go through everything. So we're going to kind of just pick apart stories and figure out what's interesting, what's not. If you guys want to talk about something in chat, please let me know. This article from Android Community is talking about the HTC Desire 20 Pro. That is a very long name for a phone. I talked about HTC not too long ago about how they were probably going to be releasing another phone, but I don't know much about this Desire 20. I think the Desire series is one of their mid-rangers, right? And I haven't just heard about HTC in a while. So the latest major Android phone offering from HTC we featured here was the HTC Desire 19S, and now is the HTC Desire 20 Pro. It's said to be introduced as another mid-ranger, but with the Pro in the name. I just love how it's a mid-ranger, but it has Pro in the name. We can expect an almost premium device. We can, even though it's a mid... Guys, I don't know. We featured the Pro back in April, describing it as looking like a combination of the Xiaomi Mi 10 and the OnePlus 8. There's no official announcement, but we're anticipating the Taiwanese tech giant will launch something new soon. So it's going to have 6 gigs of RAM, a Snapdragon 660 or 665 chipset, and Android 10 out of the box. Evleaks, so I guess put out a render, right? Won't be last when it comes to yet to be announced devices, a quad rear camera system, and a hole punch front display. The punch hole is obviously for the selfie camera. So the specs of the model were based on some information discovered on the Google Play console's device catalog. So 665 Snapdragon, 6 gigs of RAM, 1080 FHD display. it's not the biggest news in the world, and I really don't know if it's really that exciting to begin with, but I saw it, thought I'd share it. Anybody who's an HTC fan who might be looking at a mid-ranger and wants to get an HTC phone, whether you're loyal to the brand, I don't know who's really a loyal HTC person. I know HTC has made some good phones in the past, and I still think that their quality is pretty good. I just haven't heard from them in a while. So but thought I'd share. So let's move on. I have this article from 9 to 5 Google about a deal for the Pixel 3a or the 3a XL, since we were talking about cheaper phones, talking about sub $200 phones, and it looks like the Pixel 3a is on sale again at $279. And there are some other deals here too, but I just wanted to talk about the Pixel 3a because I don't know enough about TVs right now since I'm not in the market for one. But Amazon is offering the Google Pixel 3a 64 gigs in just black for $279. So for somebody who's looking for a phone under $300, stock Android, great camera, not bad for $279. I just don't know how well the chipset is going to hold up after a year or two. From what I've heard, it's still holding up pretty well for most people. What is it? A Snapdragon 675 in there. But again, if you're not such a heavy-handed user and you're looking for something with a really good camera, the Pixel 3a might be a really good deal. And then the 3a XL is $319. So not too much of a price difference there if you're looking for the bigger variant of the phone with a better battery and a bigger screen. Again, just thought I'd share it. This is on Amazon, right? There's no link to Amazon here. Okay, I'm not going to open 8 million tabs. Yeah, it is Amazon. So yeah, right now, $279 free shipping for a 3A. And then 3A XL, do they have, yeah, the XL right here for $319. For anyone who's looking, just thought I put the deal there. I think the one thing I always wanted to talk about was anytime I found deals, I wanted to share it with you guys just in case any of you guys were in the market. So moving on, this article from GSM Arena is talking about new colors for the LG Velvet. But there's a catch. Let me break that catch to you right now because I skimmed through it. These specific colors are only for specific carriers, so they're exclusives, which is kind of shitty, but you know, it looks like the unlocked variants for LG Velvet, they already have some good colors. So why not, right? When the LG Velvet went on pre-order in early May, it offered buyers a choice of 4 colors. This selection just grew by 3 new colors, blue, red, and pink, which joined the 4 original colors. You can't just go to LG.com and buy one. However, Aurora Pink can be found on LG U+. I have no idea what that is. Is that a specific carrier? If a deep Aurora red is more to your liking, then KT is the carrier you need to visit. What is LG U+? I mean, isn't LG the carrier? Do they have their own, or isn't LG the manufacturer? Do they have their own carrier? Or is this someone completely different? Finally, the blue one you will have to get from SK Telecom. Guys, I'm not familiar with this since I live in the US, so I'm sorry. That's right. The new colors are carrier exclusive, at least in LG Velvet's home country. Okay, so in South Korea, at least Koreans get new colors to choose from. Italy, for example, got only 3 colors. But again, I don't know how many people are shopping for an LG Velvet right now. Yes, they're very nice looking phones, but we've talked about this before. They're still pretty expensive, I think, in my opinion, at a $700 plus price point. I just don't know if that Snapdragon 765G is worth the money. I don't know how good the cameras are. And then we also learned that, if I remember correctly, the LG Velvet doesn't even have a quad DAC anymore. So if you're looking for superior audio hardware, what are you paying $700 for this phone for? I don't know. Okay, let me scroll up here. Let me see. Javier is like, everyone's like, he needs this and this and this. Me 90 looks hot in red. That's the one I want, Deepak. That's the one I had. That's the one I want. No one, quote, needs this stuff, but that's why we're here. That's also very true. You're probably not the only one confused by Xiaomi, Redmi, and Poco. Abundant lineup of phones. I know. I think one day I will get the hang of who is who and who is under who, but I just, at this point, there's so many, and it isn't like a big priority at this point, so it's okay. The quote "Pro" in the name indicates despite mid-range hardware, it will cost plenty. I am curious, but I fear it will be priced like the LG Velvet, which is a shame. I like how you put that, Hopkins. Like it's called Pro because it's going to be expensive. Like that's the only thing that's coming out of it. If we put Pro in the name, we're just going to charge more money. Who cares what we're going to put on it? It's just going to cost more money. LEJ says back in the day, I had nearly every HTC device. It's been years ago. Wow. Every HTC device. I'm trying to remember what my first HTC phone was. I can't, it's been a while. I can't remember what my first HTC phone was. It's been a long time. I think I owned a good amount of them. Not that many. All I do remember is the HTC U11 was my last HTC phone, and I had that blue color, and I liked it because it like was bright, and I kind of like bright colors, and I like different things. But that was the last phone I had. Deepak says I think the most anticipated phones are the OnePlus Z and Pixel 4a. I agree, or at least for me. Like those are the phones I'm really waiting for. Especially if that OnePlus Z price is at $500. I always get disappointed when I don't have news articles on the OnePlus Z or the Pixel 4a because I get excited about those phones because I'm really waiting for them. But yeah, so today no articles on either of those, but I can see those being real anticipated. I'm just wondering if that OnePlus Z is really going to be $500. If it is, it's going to make me happy. I will be glad to see that. I know Tobaz is a big LG fan. LG Velvet all day. What carriers are getting the LG Velvet? I have no idea, Tobaz. No idea. And I don't know where you're located, Tobaz, but here in the States, it hasn't been announced here yet. So I have no idea what's even going to be available. I know that they talked about it coming to the States, but I really just don't know when that's going to happen. Deepak Murthy says LG U Plus is a big Korean operator owned by LG. Wow. Obviously, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Like if anyone was going to have a carrier called LG, it's going to be in Korea. So that makes a lot of sense. LEJ says Jerome exactly about the lack of quad deck. Yeah, why would you be spending the money at that point? Deepak Murthy says Redmi and Poco are under Xiaomi. I love how you guys always try to like remind me of what's what, and you guys know I am not going to remember this. But maybe if you guys tell me long enough, I'm going to remember. Redmi and Poco are under Xiaomi. Realme is under Oppo. iQOO is under Vivo. Oppo, Vivo, and OnePlus are under BBK. But wait, Deepak, BBK said that, or OnePlus said that they're not part of BBK, which probably they're just lying about. But OnePlus keeps saying that they're independent of BBK, that they're not together. That yeah, they might have partnerships or whatever, or like know of each other, but yeah, I don't believe it either. I do think that BBK, or I do think OnePlus is still under BBK as well. LEJ says HTC, I traded up every year back then, not now. Wait, so what are you using now, Ellie? What are your go-to phones? What's your primary at this point? Lucky Games, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Glad you can make it. This might be a very unpopular opinion, but I don't really think low to mid-range phones are made for people like us. You know what? I don't think it's an unpopular opinion. I think there are a good number of us here that are looking for a good deal, and that's why some of us want to try out these lower end phones just to see how they compare. But I think you're right also. Like that's also why I don't cover a lot of phones under $200 because I would rather have a phone at this point that is rocking a Snapdragon 700-ish series chipset or an 800. And maybe that's also because I have owned nothing but flagship phones for a long time. So now I'm trying to delve into the mid-rangers. And I know that I've had this discussion with people on Friday Night Tech Talk, which by the way, is tonight. I don't know who's hosting it tonight, but I might be on it. For you guys that don't know, I fast. I also have a fasting channel, and I'm breaking my 90-hour fast today. So I might be on the stream, maybe the first half, and then I might cut out at the second half. But for you guys who don't know about Friday Night Tech Talk, it's with Will, Mike, George, and now Saeed or Ted. They're all great guys, and I'm close friends with a good amount of them. I'm good friends with all of them. Why am I? But they rotate on their channels, and it's if you guys are looking for more tech stuff to talk about, you guys should check them out too. I wish I knew who was hosting tonight, but I don't. Maybe one of the guys is in here and they can speak up. But anyway, yeah, Lonky Games, I agree to an extent. I do want to test out low end phones, but only if they have a chipset that I can deal with, that I know won't lag on me. So at least that's where I go with that. But yeah, I agree with you to an extent there. MetalCrip89. Hey, what's going on, MetalCrip89? I haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you in chat. Hey, Jerome, I upgraded to the LG V60 with the dual screen. Fantastic phone, highly underrated and highly recommended. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know what an LG V60 price is at this point. I'm assuming you probably got it at a good deal, because if I remember correctly, I think I've been seeing deals for the V60. I know I saw a deal for the V40. But thank you for sharing that, especially for anybody who's interested in getting a phone or seeing how somebody feels about it. I can't tell you. I don't have one, so I can't give you my opinion. But let me know how it's working out for you. Wonky says, to me, those phones are for people that don't care too much and just need a phone to turn in and have the capability to run apps. And you're right. I think a good amount of people, that's what they're buying that phone for. At one point in my career of working jobs, for you guys that don't know, I spent over a decade working in IT. That's what I did for a living. I made good money, and then I quit that to attempt to do YouTube, because I really wanted to do something more creative. And then I've had a multitude of jobs since then. And at one point I worked at Target. In the interim of like careers and stuff, I took a part-time job at Target, and I worked in the electronics department. And I mean, obviously, what of all the departments to put me in, when they figured out what I did, I remember when I applied, they're like, why are you applying here? You're overqualified. I'm like, oh, I just need something part-time while I do YouTube. But it was always funny because people would always come in to buy phones, or the ones that did, they weren't buying phones for any particular reason except their other phone broke and they needed something cheap and something to just get by in the meantime. So yeah, I hear you there. I can understand where you're coming from. Deepak says, I had and still have many HTC phones. Dream, Desire HD, One M7, HTC 11 were milestones. Did I have the M7? Maybe that's the one I had. The one thing I liked about HTC was their speakers. I remember their speakers were really, really good at the time, at least from what I remember, I think. Anyway, Y says, Jerome, I can explain to you on Instagram the incredibly big first world problem that is Xiaomi's lineup. Please feel free to message me. Let me know what you're thinking, because I lose track. Guys, I know I try to like keep up to date with everything, but there's just so much to remember. Dwayne says HTC G1, the OG first and only HTC device I've owned. There you go. Yeah, the G1 is definitely the OG. I actually never owned that phone. I wonder if I could buy that phone on eBay and see and test it out and kind of just give me a glimpse of what it was, because back then I was still, before iPhones, I was a Nokia person, and then I was an original iPhone owner, and I still have my original iPhone from 2007, and I was an iPhone person for a while, all the way up to the 5-ish or whatever, whenever the Galaxy Nexus came out, and then I switched over, but then I own both. I have owned every Nexus and every iPhone since then. LEJ says Pixel and iPhone. You're like me then. Those are my two phones that I use. Deepak says, really? No, man. OnePlus has its office in the same BBK building. Well, then take it up with OnePlus, because they're very adamant about saying that they are not a part of BBK. Everyday Tech, yo, what's going on, Everyday Tech? Nice to see you. Appreciate you coming on the stream. How you doing, man? Happy Friday. Nice to see you. Let me see here. For a tech enthusiast, 300 to 400 is a really good sweet spot. I agree. That's my sweet spot too. That's really where I want to kind of like focus in on phones and tell people where the good deals are at around that price point. So I'm with you. I agree. LEJ says hashtag FNTT is great. Yes, Friday Night Tech Talk is great. That's how Ellie found me, by the way. Tony Pazzo, hello, Jerome. Hey, Tony, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. You off of work? Nice to have you stop by again. Appreciate you stopping by. Metal Crypt says, a YouTuber, my Project 13's coverage of the V60 after having the OnePlus 8 for 2 weeks really helped me choose the V60. Well, there you go. And for anybody who might want an opinion on the V60, feel free to check that out. I haven't used the V60. I don't know much about it. For the longest time, I've been just using my iPhone 11 Pro and my Pixel 4 for a while. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen or I've really tested anything else. On my drive home, be safe, Tony. Glad you could make it. Appreciate you stopping by again. Wait, am I going through the same chats? No, why might have just said that twice. I think lower end phones are cool for us tech nerds to discuss, but actually owning and using one, I don't think we are the target. You know, it's funny you say that because Will, who's another big tech guy, he comes in here once in a while. He gives me shit for it every time I talk about like mid-range phones. He's like, Jerome, you're not going to keep it. Who are you kidding? Why are you going to get an iPhone SE? You know, you're not going to keep that phone. And now I have this A71. I'm probably not holding on to that either. But I do think at this point, I think I am going to buy that Xiaomi Mi 9T just for that selfie pop-up camera. And just because I know I can mod it, because I feel like I would want to actually mod it and talk about it and share my experience using it and maybe help people who want to like mod phones. And I know sometimes it's daunting for some people, but really it's not that bad. It's pretty easy to do once you get used to it. I'm watching this on my TCL and responding on my SE. One-handed texting, God damn it, Tony. I do not condone that. Be safe. The last thing I want is for you to get in an accident, and I'm saying this right now. Tony, be careful, man. Please, for anyone else who's driving, I don't condone texting and driving. Okay, guys, let me scroll down here. Tony says, I was a BlackBerry bandit before I became an iPhone user. Yeah, and I actually used the BlackBerry for work for the longest time before they finally switched us over. You know what? What's actually funny is the company I worked for IT for them for a long time. And I'm not going to talk about the company here because it's just not something I'm going to share. But I worked for a really big company for over a decade. And we had BlackBerrys for a long time. Because I was IT, they gave me free phones, a free laptop. I had a free car, paid for my gas, my insurance. They were a good company that took care of me. But finally, our IT division decided that we would stop using BlackBerrys, and then they gave us the option to use iPhones or the latest Galaxy phones. And I don't know whose decision that was, but I was like, why are you guys not recommending Pixel phones? Or was it Pixel phones at the time when I think they had just come out at that time before I had quit. No, well, I don't know. Anyway, BlackBerrys they were good for texting. They're good for emailing. I'll give it that. I haven't used a BlackBerry in a while. Tony says, I'm curious as to what vehicle you're driving now. I remember I did have a Honda, or you mean me? For a Honda Fit? Yeah, I used to have a Honda Fit. So what I'm driving now, I know we're going off topic here, but so Tony, for like 3 years, 4 years maybe, I didn't have a car for a while because I live in the city and I use public transportation and I never needed a car to get anywhere. But now, before I ended up getting a car, I also own so I had a motorcycle for a while, and then I downgraded to a scooter, like a moped. I have an old school Honda Elite 80. It goes like 50 miles an hour. It's actually funny because I lost weight. I can top 50 on it now, but I usually use a scooter to get around. It's a really cool red Honda moped, and it's like old school or whatever. But when I moved to LA, guys, for people that don't know, I'm in Chicago again. I moved to LA for a job, and that's when I needed a car because you can't get around on public transportation in LA. It's just too hard. But I drive a Nissan Versa, and it's I bought it brand new for 10 grand, brand new, because nobody wanted to drive a stick shift. It's stick shift, and it has manual door locks, and it has manual windows, and it works for me. I'm very minimalistic when it comes to a lot of stuff. Although here I am using all this tech stuff or whatever, but I am minimalistic in other ways. But yeah, I have a 2019 Nissan Versa, and it was like I got it on a great deal, and yeah, that's it. It has like 100 horsepower, and I drove that from California to Chicago, and I had trouble driving that in Colorado because of all of the elevation. It was hard getting around. I see Brian here with the $1 super chat. Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the continued streak of super chats. Thank you for the support. Brian, I can't thank you enough. Brian, for you guys that don't know, has been super chatting me for I don't know how many days in a row now or how many streams in a row. But Brian, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for going that extra step, extra mile. Again, appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you, man. Okay, guys, again, I'm not going to be able to go through everything. Brian says it's for the Mi 9T fund. Well, thanks, Brian, because I think at this point you've paid for a good portion of that Mi 9T fund. So thank you so much. Let's see here. Tony says, no, I'm safe using voice to text. Well, thanks, Tony. Thank you for being safe. Okay, guys. And Ellie J with a $2 super chat. Ellie, thank you so much. Thank you for that added support. Guys, thank you, everyone, too. Deepak earlier today with the support as well. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Ellie, thank you. Also, you became a new member yesterday. So, like, just, guys, thank you. Again, it's always weird for me because I'm very appreciative and I want you guys to know that. And I know I might sound like a broken record, but really, again, I do appreciate it. So Ellie, thank you so much. Okay, guys. Let me see here. Tony says, I remember you made a video on your Honda Fit. Did you not? I did, but that video was about me selling that car because I was trying to like pursue my YouTube passion and dreams. And I'm still trying to do that in a way, but YouTube is a very hard place to make it. And actually, I will just share this with you guys. In the last like 4 days, YouTube has demonetized all of my streams. I think they'll monetize it as I go live, but like the last 3 or 4 days streams, they've completely demonetized my stuff. And I don't know if it's because I shit on big companies and I tell like people like, hey, fight for the people, not for profit, not for big corporations. So whatever, YouTube can do whatever they want. As long as I get a platform to speak, then I'm fine. I will always figure a way out. So Daniel Lubker, hey, what's going on, Daniel? Nice you could make it. Nice to see you in the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Deepak says we want a Mi 9T in the building. We will have one. I promise you that. I will be getting one, and I will probably be getting that red one. So okay, guys, let's continue on. I don't have a ton of like exciting stories today, so it's what I got. That's why I'm talking with you guys in chat as well. I mean, I always talk with you guys in chat, but having conversations. So this article from Android Authority is talking about how the Galaxy Note 20 release date might have just leaked. We're not going to get into this, article. There's not much to talk about. I think they're talking about it coming out in August. So although we're still waiting patiently for the launch of the Pixel 4a, the next big smartphone release we're expecting is the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 series. Is anybody here shopping for a Note 20? Is somebody ready to pull $1,000 on a Note 20? I'm just curious. Again, more power to you if like you have the money and you want a Note and you got 4 digits to spend the money on. But it's a very expensive phone. I'm pretty sure it's going to be at least $1,000 starting. So August 5 for a launch for the Note 20 lineup makes perfect sense to us. Okay, so it's speculation. We don't know if that's true. For now, pencil in a release date of August 5. It could change, but that's what erasers are for. So yeah, anybody who's curious, August 5, Note 20, maybe, not concrete, fluff article probably, but there you go. For anyone who's curious about a Note 20. And then again, another article from Android Authority. Is this the Mi Note 11? We were just talking about the Mi Note 10, right? Is that the one Grant was telling me to get? But this article says, is this the Mi Note 11? Xiaomi could be readying phone with 12 times optical zoom. Damn, 12 times optical zoom? Okay, they're reportedly working on a phone with 12 times optical zoom and 120 times digital zoom. The phone is also said to offer an upgraded 108 megapixel camera. I'm assuming this is the same camera that's used in the Ultra, the Galaxy S20 Ultra. This could be the Mi CC10 Pro or the Mi Note 11. Again, one of the reasons that this is so confusing for me, is the fact that we just talked about the Note 20. Why is Xiaomi? Actually, let me ask this before I sound ignorant. Who came up with the Note name first? Did Samsung come up with the Note name first, or did Xiaomi with this Mi Note whatever? Because why do we have multiple companies using the same Note? It would be like Xiaomi or another company calling their phone the Pixel. Like I would just it kind of baffles me why they do that, but maybe they're doing it on purpose. I'm not saying that Xiaomi is copying. I'm wondering who did it first, but maybe whoever did it is just doing it to confuse the market and say, well, isn't this what the Note is? Isn't the Note Xiaomi? It's like, no, it's Samsung. Well, now it's both. Anyway, it's Friday, guys. The Xiaomi Mi Note 10 was one of the more feature-packed phones in the last 12 months, offering 2 zoom lenses, a 108 megapixel camera, and a big battery. Now tipster Xiaomishka. Oh, I like that. Now tipster Xiaomishka reports that Xiaomi is working on a phone codenamed CAS that could be the Mi CC10 Pro or Mi Note 11, and it's reportedly packing similarly impressive camera specs. For starters, the leaker says the Xiaomi phone will offer a 12 times optical zoom periscope camera with 120 times digital zoom. Huawei's P40 Pro Plus currently offers a 10 times optical zoom camera. So Xiaomi's effort could be more impressive on paper, but it's also worth noting the firm previously used a 3.7 times 8 megapixel camera and cropped in to give what it initially branded as a 5 times optical zoom on the Mi Note 10. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, guys. Anyway, so wow, okay. Hopefully it comes in at a similar price. Oh, this is what Grant was talking about then. If it's indeed a successor, with the Mi Note 10 retailing for $440. So wait, so the Mi Note 10 also then has pretty impressive specs, right? Oh shit, this is what I wanted to talk about. Why is this article not, did I miss that article? Finally, the leaker says the new Xiaomi device, okay, you know what? This is what let's kind of transition. Actually, I want to talk about this because Xiaomi they're talking about this 100 times zoom, which might be the Mi Note 11, but this is something new that I haven't seen. This is talking about using a Snapdragon 775, which no one has talked about. This is new for me, and it'll apparently debut sometime the third quarter of the year, which then begs me to ask, what is this Snapdragon 775 going to be like? For people who don't know, we've talked about this. The Snapdragon 765 is the chipset that is reportedly coming into the Pixel 5, the OnePlus Z. It's currently on the LG Velvet. I believe one of the Razer 2 is going to have it, but then Qualcomm also announced a Snapdragon 768G series chipset, which is an overclocked version of the Snapdragon 765. So what is the Snap 775? Is this a completely different chipset? And I haven't read this article. I did see the title, and that's why I was just like, oh, these two connect. So what you need to know, a new rumor claims Xiaomi is working on a phone with 12 times optical zoom and a whopping 120 times digital zoom. The phone is also tipped to be powered by an unannounced Snapdragon 775 chipset. It could possibly be a successor to last year's Mi Note 10. Okay, so just like we were talking about, Xiaomi's Mi Note 10 was the world's first phone to feature Samsung's ISO Bright HMX 108 megapixel camera sensor. No wonder Grant is wanting me to look into this phone, because apparently it has really good camera specs for $440. According to a new rumor, the company could be working on a successor to the Mi Note 10 with some major upgrades under the hood. As per tipster Xiaomishka, Xiaomi is working on a phone with an impressive periscope camera module with 12 times optical zoom and 120 times digital zoom. The Mi Note 10 uses a 5 times optical zoom lens, while Huawei's P40 Pro Plus offers a 10 times optical zoom camera. So let's see here. The phone's 12 times optical zoom camera definitely sounds promising, but we're not all that excited about the 120 times digital zoom capability. Samsung's Galaxy S20 Ultra, which offers 100 times quote space zoom, fails to deliver usable photos at 100 times magnification. So yeah, even with this, bragging about or talking about 120 times zoom, I digital zoom, I wouldn't hold your breath. I don't think it's going to be the greatest either. But the fact that they're going to work on a 12 times optical, that might be promising. While there is no word on how many cameras the phone will have on the back, the tipster claims it will use an upgraded 108 megapixel Samsung ISOCELL HM2 sensor. Since Samsung hasn't officially announced the sensor yet, we do not know what improvements it brings to the table. The upcoming Xiaomi smartphone, which is apparently codenamed CAS, is said to feature an unannounced Snapdragon 775 chipset under the hood. Was it from Xiaomishka? Is that who leaked that? Unsurprisingly, the phone is tipped to have 5G support and NFC as well. As for the phone's launch timeframe, Xiaomishka suggests it is likely to debut sometime in July. That's crazy to me that they're going to have, I guess the 765G chipset has been around now for a bit, and then they just announced the 768, and now there's a 775 coming. It's nice to see, though, that there is an evolution to this chipset, and I'm curious as to how much better this one's going to be. It kind of makes me a little sad that we might not see a 768G in the Pixel 5, or now that this 775 is coming out, what they're going to use this in. But again, I've been using this Galaxy A71 with the Snapdragon 730, and it's been working pretty well for me. It has a hiccup like here and there, but it really isn't that bad. For the most part, I'm able to use it almost without any kind of issue. I would say 99% of the time I'm pretty happy with it. And that like small 1% of a hiccup is really far and few between. So again, it gives me hope for the 765. It is nice to see the 775 chipset, though. It just makes me a little sad that I'm seeing these new chipsets come out in the 700 series that will probably be better than what the Pixel 5 is going to have, and it'll be a little disappointing to know that, if Google doesn't use that, I mean, it is what it is, right? But maybe it'll lower the price too. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let me get back into chat here. So Brian, Tony is saying, will the new iPhones have USB Type-C? For if you're asking about the new ones, if you're talking about the iPhone 12, most likely not. I talked about this also, and I feel like Apple wouldn't do that. One, because they want to stay proprietary with their Lightning port to keep, the sales and make the profit, but also because if Apple is planning to go portless in the future, then for them to switch over to USB-C and to either re-engineer or do whatever it is and change product marketing or manufacturing or whatever, I just don't think it's worth it to them, even if it's just for a year, because maybe it's just for a year or 2 years at the most. And at that point, they're probably just like, no, that's not cost effective for us, especially since we're going to go portless. But there was also talk that maybe the iPhone 13 might have USB-C, but that was a prototype that came out that I talked about yesterday, and I just don't see that happening. I can't remember who made that point in chat yesterday, but I know why kind of alluded to that as well. So there is a speculation that this year will be the iPhone 12, right? Smaller notch, smaller bezels, but it's still going to have the Lightning port. And then in 2021, there isn't going to be an iPhone 13, but they'll release an iPhone 12s, which will just have updated internals, right? Still have the same outside. And then in 2022 is maybe when they'll come out with a phone that'll be portless and maybe notchless, which is a video I put out yesterday. And that would be cool to see. I just don't know if that's really going to happen. But yeah, I honestly, Tony, I don't really think they're going to be coming out with an iPhone with USB-C. Yeah, Brian says he hopes the new iPhones will have it. I mean, I would love if that's what they did. I would rather they do that. I mean, I don't say that they're not going to have it because I don't want them to have it. I'm just saying it because I don't think Apple is going to make those changes. I would love for them to use USB Type-C. Shit, I would have loved for them to use USB Type-C 3 or 4 years ago, but Apple, being the powerhouse that they are, and trying to avoid loopholes or avoid legal whatever to get by and keep using it, they're going to do what they're going to do for money. Okay. Deepak says here, top end Galaxy phones go down soon on price. Yep, that's very true. Maybe 2 to 3 months after release. Yes, also very true. Look at all the deals that are going on right now. Yeah, Brian says exactly. Wait until a good promotion. Deepak says, for me, Note means a pen writing device. You know what? That's so funny you say that, because now when I think of Note, I do associate it with the Galaxy Note. Wow, that's actually, it's kind of funny how like the years go by, and it kind of shows people's ages too, because you ask people, like if you ask people who are Gen Z, and when I say Gen Z, I mean people born after like 1996, 97, I think 96. If you ask people after 1996 about like, let me ask you guys this. I don't know how many of you guys here are meme people, but if I asked you right now, I'm just going to ask chat. I know this is very off topic, but who here knows what chocolate rain is? Anybody? Anybody knows what chocolate rain is? Because I bet you somebody who is a Gen Z person has no idea what chocolate rain is. I also wonder if anyone who's Gen Z right now knows what MySpace is or LiveJournal. I'm wondering if you guys know this. And I just bring that up because again, like technology moves so fast, and in 5 years, something could be completely gone. Platforms change and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I loathe Facebook. I don't use Facebook. And right now, everyone uses, at least the younger, I feel like the younger generation, but now a lot of people are starting to catch up, is TikTok. And it's funny because like TikTok was one of the big clients I used to work with back before, when I was living in LA. That's what got me out there, was, getting closer to that client. But yeah, it's crazy how quickly things move. Sean, come on guys, smash the like. Sean, thank you for the support, man. Thank you for sharing that with the people. Brian says, I second that, Sean. Thank you, Brian. Thank you guys for the support. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to like keep up with chat. Yeah, Grant says, yep. Mi Note 10 is pretty impressive. Now I have to take a look at that. But Grant, I wanted to get the Mi 9T. I can't buy 18 phones. Y says, Jerome, it's probably going to be the CC11 Pro, or also known as the Mi Note 10. Thank you, Y. Let's see. If camera is your priority, then any Pixel will be top notch. Yep. For battery and reception, Redmi phones are very good. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. Paul says, John CPU says no. USB-C. What am I missing something? Maybe I'm missing something in chat, or I'm like the joke or whatever is going over my head, Paul. Let me see here. Let me scroll down. Tony says the MacBooks are already have USB-C and iPads. I think they're going to go to USB Type-C. So like that's a valid point and a valid argument. But I think the reason that Apple has gone with USB-C is because of a lot of the technology behind it, right? And I think it's also hooking up with either I don't know if it's just other hardware that uses USB-C, but I don't know if they see the need for that in the mobile market. Again, I would love to be wrong. I really hope that they use USB-C. I would be ecstatic if they did, because then I wouldn't have to keep switching or have double wired connections for charging it up. And yes, guys, I don't use wireless. I use wired to charge all my phones. But yeah, I would love for it to do that. I'm aware they use USB-C there, but I think that they do that because the technology on the Lightning port is so bad that they need to keep up with the standards when it comes to competing against the PC. At least that's how I see it. Okay. Anyway, let me see here. God, I'm trying to keep up, guys. Deepak says, I think Apple will jump directly to portless. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Let me see. Let me scroll down. Sorry, guys, I'm not gonna be able to go through everything. Tony says here I'm Generation X. So yeah, then you're aware, right, Tony? You're aware of MySpace and LiveJournal and what Blogger. Y says MySpace is a dead social media. I think the fact that you say I think, yes, then why, you are obviously younger than me. I just love how you say I think. Same with Hopkins. I have heard about MySpace. God, it just makes me feel so old. Grant says, LOL, was Tom your friend too? Of course. Tom was all our friends, Grant. Tony says, I use TikTok all day. My brother just downloaded TikTok a couple days ago and he likes it. So here's the thing, guys. It's funny because when I was in LA, even before I moved to LA, I was working with a company that had just began working with TikTok, and TikTok was one of their biggest clients. And I had heard of TikTok by then, but this was back in early 2019 when nobody was using TikTok. And it was really cringy at the time. And it's kind of crazy because I feel like the success of TikTok had partly to do with our company, the media company I worked in. And now TikTok is gigantic. And they're, guys, like, I've been to TikTok headquarters. The amount of money that they spend on advertising is ridiculous. The money that owns TikTok, right? ByteDance and all that kind of stuff, like, they're owned by a gigantic conglomerate, and they have billions and billions. If I remember correctly, the last I heard was the conglomerate that owns them owns, I think, close to $600 billion, if not more by this point. But it was funny because back in the day, in early 2019, when nobody was using TikTok, I had to scroll through that thing. At times I was scrolling through TikTok for 8 hours a day, trying to find content that was viral because it was part of my job. And I was losing my mind because it was like TikTok every day. But those guys paid the money for it. And now everyone talks about TikTok like they've been using it forever. Anyway, Y says, don't think I don't know what chocolate rain is. The food weather forecast talked about it yesterday. Yeah, I don't know how many people know about chocolate rain at this point. Tony says here, TikTok is just a rebranded Vine. Also Vine, there you go. Yes, but TikTok I think is a lot better than Vine, especially at this point. And I know Vine tried to come back with an app called Byte, BYTE, but I think it's a little too late at this point. Okay, so let's move on. Deepak says here, actually Type-C on Macs is Thunderbolt 3 technology for high transfer speeds and hooking up external monitors, eGPUs, etc. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you for sharing that. I know I didn't know all the details on why Type-C was better in that respect, but I appreciate you sharing that. So thank you. Okay, guys, I'm like looking at the time and then I'm looking at this and let me see what I'm not going to go through everything today, guys. So let's I don't really have a ton left. Let's talk about the Motorola Razr 2. Let's talk about that. So this article from Talk Android is talking about how the Motorola Razr 2 is supposedly coming this year with a bigger screen and a better processor at what, $1,500? And is it going to be exclusive again to only Verizon? So if you are not a Verizon owner, then too bad, so sad. Or is it going to be unlocked? God damn it, they are mowing the lawn right next to me. If you hear it, I'm sorry. Who here is anybody here looking forward to the Motorola Razr 2 or saving their money for it? Because I wonder what percentage of people are actually buying this phone. Yes, I like the technology behind it. Yes, I'm all for moving the needle forward when it comes to technology. I just don't know if it's the right time just yet. The Motorola Razr had a fairly bumpy launch. People couldn't buy it. There were tons of quality control issues. And at the end of the day, it just didn't seem like a great phone. Well, even mediocre phones can still get successors, and it looks like the Motorola Razr 2 is right around the corner. The fact that this article is calling the Motorola Razr a mediocre phone at the price point it was priced at is, oh, I know that people want to buy the latest and greatest, but I couldn't recommend that phone, and I don't know if I could recommend that phone this year either. Yeah, this is going to have the Snapdragon 765 chipset in it, but who knows how much this phone is going to cost. A 6.7-inch display, so apparently a bigger display too. It says here the whole package should be about the same size as the Galaxy Z Flip. Other specs out of this rumor suggest a 48 megapixel main sensor, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage, and a middling. Wow, that battery size is 2845 milliamp hours. It's an okay upgrade, I suppose, but nothing major. Perhaps more surprisingly is that the Razr 2 should debut in Q3 of this year, just a few months after the original actually hit store shelves, thanks to its delayed start. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it. It's not exciting for me. It's not something I'm looking forward to. Out of all the phones that I'm excited about, the Motorola Razr 2, the Galaxy the Galaxy Z Flip, or whatever else is coming out, they're not really, it's not my cup of tea. I don't know if it ever will be. I was saying this, we were talking about earlier with Deepak, like the Pixel 4a I'm excited for. The OnePlus Z I'm excited for, because I think those are going to be pretty well performing phones at a lower price point and could give, at least the Pixel 4a will have a better camera and could compete with the iPhone SE. We'll see about the OnePlus Z. We'll see where that goes. Anyway, Deepak says foldables are interesting, but too much in their infancy. Totally agree too. I wonder if foldables will ever come in at a $400 to $500 price point. And if they do, I wonder what year that'll be. 2025? Will we still be here in 2025, or will coronavirus take us out? Brian says too much money for too many compromises. I also agree. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of phones coming, and I think at this point it's just about like talking about what's a good value and what to be excited for, and making sure that people get the right phone at the right price and not fall into the hype. So before I close this out, guys, real quick, if you guys just came into the stream, or if you haven't had a chance already, please feel free to like the stream. Liking the stream, I believe, helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream. And if you haven't said hi in the stream, come say hi. We're pretty nice. I think we're a pretty civil community, and it's just nice to chat with everybody and engage in the community. And with that being said, if you guys are not subscribers, feel free to subscribe. I stream Mondays through Fridays. That is weekdays. At around this time for about an hour and a half, we talk tech, engage in the community, and just share things that are going on. I mean, sometimes even outside of tech. And last but not least, if you see green in people's names, or you see a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are part of the Phone Jerome fam. Is that my thing now? It sounds kind of cheesy. The Phone Jerome family, nah. The Phone Jerome fam, Phone Jerome squad, team, community, whatever you want to call it. And you can be part of that too. For as little as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click the join button here at 99 cents a month. You will get your name green also. You'll get a red Chicago star. You'll get to use custom emoji, and you'll get your name on the intro and outro of every one of my live streams. And at the end of the day, it's just a way to support me. And regardless if you can or can't do that, I appreciate the support either way. Other than that, guys, I think that might be it. Just an FYI, I will be streaming Monday again, but I will be streaming late. I have a job interview at the time I usually am streaming, so I'm not going to be available then. So it'll be a later stream. I don't know what time that's going to be, but just an FYI, I will be streaming again on Monday, but it won't be until late afternoon or later in the evening. So if you guys can make it, that would be great. I'd love to see you guys again. If not, I'm sure we will meet again sometime in the future. But I think with that being said, I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, shit. You guys were watching me open all of this, huh? I didn't mean to share my screen, but I might as well since we're here. Let me switch back to it. I thought I had that hidden. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for stopping by today. Thank you, everybody, for saying hi. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. For people who joined, people who are members of the community, thank you for being a member. For everybody who super chatted today, thank you for that extra support. It is always appreciated. Please know that whatever you guys support me with, it helps, contribute to paying for the fees on my stream. Like, this software costs money. The music I use costs me money every month, and it helps cover that kind of stuff. So I do appreciate it. And even if you guys can't do that, even for you guys to engage in chat and say hi and just like be part of this whole like Phone Jerome kind of thing, it means so much to me, and it enables me to do this every day. And I see myself doing this for a while, because I love it. I love talking chat. Even if I end up getting this job, I will still do this on the weekdays. I will take an hour to do it, and it will be part of my job because, God, I love doing it. It's so much fun, and it's so much fun to talk to everybody and just, saying hi. And yeah, I think that's it. Come back Monday. We'll do this all over again. We'll talk more tech. Hopefully there will be more stories out. And if not, we'll talk in chat and we'll shoot the shit and share whatever is going on. So with that being said, I am about to call it quits. I'm about to put the outro here. Guys, have a good weekend. I will see you Monday. Take it easy.